there's a gap opening now. No!
And we are back for another episode of Dead Last Cycling. This week, we're racing on Hudson Hustle for Stage 2 of the Zwift Games. After last week's overheating fiasco, I decided that suns out, guns out was the strategy for today. So apologies for the blindingly white, underdeveloped upper body that's on display. Looking at the first half of today's route, the word that comes to mind is jagged. Lots of steep punches and kicks to help everyone get in the spirit of things as quickly as possible. With that in mind, the plan was obvious.
It's going to be about trying to survive the first half. Whatever is necessary, but it's a big group.
In that big group, I noticed some familiar names, so I knew we were not in for a gentle race.
Hey Sloop, I see, that's a familiar name. Think she'll be hurting us all on the climbs.
I've been in a few races with Miss Sloop so far, and she usually puts us all to the sword up any sort of incline, and I'm sure once we get to the climbing focus stages, she will probably just ride off into the sunset. But today's stage was meant to be one for the sprinters, and given that I'm usually pretty punchy, I was hoping it would suit me. As we approached the first steep ramp though, I was already suffering.
Oh, my legs feel heavy today, fellas.
10% gradients are never going to feel great, so I settled in to enjoy the suffering. A secondary goal of just surviving the first half was to survive it with our feather for the sprint finish, and I'd made it up the first little test with that still in hand, but not as easily as I'd have liked.
Oh, I don't feel good. Left leg is tired.
Whether from having to change saddle, my usual one had decided to collapse on the right side, or from an ambitious week of training, my left quad was already screaming at me, and we hadn't even started the proper tests.
We got this 2 sharp climbs out of this downhill. That's the selection points of the day.
These back-to-back sharp climbs were the race. Anyone that made it over them would be in with a shout of a decent finish, and anyone that kept their feather would have the inside track of a top 10. On climbs like this, I find that you have to just ignore the watts, ignore your legs as much as you can, and just start digging.
Breathe. Oh, this is hard.
Definitely hard, but the feather was still in our back pocket. The group was stringing out though, and somewhere the elastic was bound to snap.
Here we go. Oh God. Slow down.
This climb had me on my limit.
Sliding backwards.
The struggle here was serious and alarm bells were ringing. This was actually getting dicey.
Try to hold the feather, but I'm hurting, guys. A lot today.
I think perhaps I should have used my feather here, but being an overly stubborn person, I held onto it and just kept digging a deeper and deeper hole for myself.
Got to pedal over the top. Ah!
Somehow, I had made it over the biggest test of the day, but I was fully on my limit. If that climb had been any longer, I would have been done for, but unfortunately, the test was not actually over.
Come on, there's a gap opening now. No!
That was genuine panic, because there was no way I could jump across by myself, but mercifully, the man in white put in a dig, which combined with the front group slowing slightly, let us close back in. Otherwise, that would have been race over.
Thank you, whoever closed that.
Straight out of the frying pan into the fire, as Hudson Hustle is the gift that keeps on giving, with one final, horribly steep kick. I was basically empty, but thankfully, as I jumped out of the saddle to resort to some good old-fashioned leg pressing, miraculously, it seemed that everyone else was empty too, and I pushed towards the front of the group. The impossible dream had been achieved. Survived the hard part with the leaders, feather intact. But my thoughts at this point could be summed up as follows.
Oh my God.
Would I have been better off using my feather there on the climb to save my legs a bit, or was keeping it the right move? To be honest, I'm really not sure. Let me know what you think. Either way though, it was now finally time for my favourite part of Zwift racing, recovery. There were still a few little kicks left, but the big danger was over.
Heart rate's coming down. I just need my throat and legs to realize it.
My heart rate was coming down nicely. My legs and lungs were in the struggle still though, but there was plenty of time to recover before anything serious jumped off, and really, it was only the escalators and the finish that I was worried about from here.
Try to ride into this escalator with good power, hope they're fixed, and hope it carries me over the top. These, when they first came out, hurt a hell of a lot though. But today everything is hurt.
It seems the escalators are actually fixed and no longer snap your legs clean off. Provided you ride in with good momentum, you get gracefully carried up to the top. With the escalator problem solved, it was now mostly about whether I could regain any sort of pop for the final few kilometers.
Another lumpy section coming up. Just gotta hope that everyone is hurting, or at least a bit, right? I can hear my voice is destroyed.
These small inclines were not going to shake anyone off, but they did keep stinging the legs, and mine were not happy.
For whatever reason today, my left quad in particular is hurting a lot.
Sure, my quad was on fire, but in these races, nearly everyone is suffering along with each other, and we were getting to the pointy end.
So we've got one more escalator left, and then like that steep bump at the end before a sprint finish uphill. And after that bump at the end, like the substantial one, it's gonna be like a drag race.
With the escalators fixed, it was basically time to lock in for the final kick, followed by the downhill drag into the sprint finish.
Try to get over this in good position.
Did I have any matches left? Could I even make it to a sprint finish? I didn't know, but as we hit the incline, there was not much left to pull from. I had been hoping to feel a lot more spring over that ramp than I did.
I don't think I have a sprint. I'm gonna try.
I felt completely done for and then some, and was really questioning whether I'd be able to get out of the saddle and sprint at all. But whatever happens, we're always going to try and leave it all out there. So I got ready to empty the tank in the final few hundred meters. The Zwift Games medal continues to elude us. I just didn't really have the pop today, but 6 out of 125 is a good result in my book.
Chapeau to everyone. Gave it our best. Better result than last week, so it's an improvement. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you could subscribe and like the video, I'd appreciate that too. And I'll see you all next week.